Italy is a country located in Europe with many beautiful landscapes and a rich cultural heritage and history. The capital of Italy is the city of Rome, which is the largest economic, commercial, cultural and political center in Italy. Rome is also one of the most attractive cities to visit in Europe. Rome has experienced many ups and downs throughout history, bringing forth ancient Roman architectural masterpieces combined with vibrant modern life. Italy has always enchanted travelers. However, behind the attractive beauty for tourists and the friendly people, Italy still has many dark sides. Join me in traveling to Italy and discovering these dark sides of living in this country. Number 18. 70% of young adults live with their parents. Italy is one of the countries with the highest rate of adults living with their parents. As of 2021, 70% of Italian adults under the age of 34 still live with their parents. Family ties in Italy are strong, and many people live with their parents. Additionally, the most common reason is due to high unemployment rates among young Italians. With youth unemployment rates too high, young Italians find it increasingly difficult to rent their own homes and buy their own properties. Despite some houses being sold for as low as €1 across the country to attract immigrants, these houses are often located in remote areas with no employment opportunities. So, young Italians are unlikely to buy them. Number 17. Italians are very superstitious, and one example of this is their belief that spilling salt brings bad luck. This belief may stem from ancient times when salt was a precious and difficult to produce commodity for humans. Moreover, during that time, salt was even considered a form of currency for trading. Spilling salt is seen as a wasteful action, so it's believed to bring bad luck. Similarly, spilling olive oil also brings similar bad omens. Furthermore, when passing a salt shaker to someone else at the table, you have to place the salt shaker down for the other person to pick it up. Italians believe that if the recipient directly receives the salt shaker from the giver's hand, then in the future, the two people will quarrel with each other. Another superstition is that in Italy, if you accidentally place a hat on a bed, it's considered unlucky because this image is associated with death in Italian funeral culture. After the priest comes to visit the deceased and recites the final prayers, he will remove the deceased's hat and place it on the bed. Additionally, some hotels in Italy don't have a 17th floor because people believe 17 is an unlucky number. Some people explain this belief by noting that the Roman numeral for 17 is written as 15th too, and by rearranging the letters, it becomes vixi in Latin. Vixi roughly means I have lived, implying I am dead now. Because the number 17 is somewhat related to death, it naturally becomes an unlucky number. What do you think of these Italian beliefs? Feel free to leave your comments. Number 16. Unique nudist restaurant in the world. The El Hotel Americano restaurant in Milan, which recently opened, is a very special place. You won't be allowed in here if you're wearing clothes. Inside, the restaurant is decorated in the Art Deco style of 1930s America. Paintings of mafia and characters from the famous movie are also displayed inside the restaurant. When diners enter the restaurant, they must remove all their clothing, which often makes them uncomfortable for a while to get used to moving and dining completely naked. At the entrance, diners are given a soft towel to sit on. The most difficult part is resisting the temptation from stairs. Once accustomed to that, you'll learn to voluntarily respect others' privacy. Another interesting thing about this restaurant is that you'll be completely disconnected from online connections. There's no internet here, and diners have to surrender their phones. Other handheld devices are also banned to prevent photography. Physical contact is also strictly prohibited. Would you like to try this restaurant? Feel free to leave a comment with your thoughts. Number 15. Highest unemployment rate in Europe. If you're looking for part-time jobs in bars, hotels, or restaurants, you'll be glad to know that there are plenty of jobs in Italy. However, if you're more serious about finding long-term employment, you may find that breaking into the full-time job market in this country is not easy. For many years, Italy has consistently had the highest unemployment rate in Europe, with an average of about 10%, with 30% for young people. 1/3 of young Italians have been unable to find a job with a basic wage. It's known as the generation, a nickname for the generation of 30-year-olds with qualifications and high work skills, but they still struggle to earn less than €1,000 a month and have to struggle to survive. Many are even willing to pick up trash to make a living, while waiting for relatively low-paying jobs, such as caring for the disabled or dog-sitting while the owner is away. This issue has led to some consequences, and in the case of Italy, it has led to a massive exodus of young, educated and ambitious people from the country. Since 2008, at least 2 million young Italians have permanently left the country, and hundreds of thousands continue to leave each year. This is not the only demographic issue Italy is facing. Due to the massive migration of people, similar to Japan, although the unemployment rate has stabilized since its lowest point in early 2022, finding a job for non-Italian speakers can be challenging. As a foreigner, you'll have the highest chance of getting a well-paying job in cities like Rome, Milan, Florence, and Bologna. In these cities, there are more jobs available for English speakers, but you may still face difficulties if you don't speak Italian. Number 14. Driving in Italy is quite dangerous. According to a survey conducted by YouGov, about 17% of Britons who have driven abroad commented that driving in Italy is the riskiest in Europe. If you're driving in Italy, it's important to be aware of the dangers and drive safely. Driving in Italy can be dangerous due to severe congestion and aggressive driving behavior. The top 5 reasons for accidents in Italy are speeding, not respecting red lights or other road signs, driving under the influence of alcohol, fatigue, and driving without a license. Additionally, Italian drivers are not used to sharing the road with cyclists and pedestrians. This can often lead to dangerous situations. As a pedestrian, you should be extremely careful when crossing the road. On the other hand, as a cyclist, you should also take necessary precautions to avoid accidents, such as wearing appropriate protective gear. What do you think about the driving situation in Italy? Feel free to comment below. Number 13. Italy's most dangerous criminal network in Europe. According to a report by the European Police Agency, Italy's criminal network is one of the most dangerous criminal groups in the European Union, with primary activities including drug trafficking, extortion and auctions, scrap metal trafficking, tax fraud, and money laundering. Italian-style mafia organizations have significantly expanded their operations abroad, penetrating over 45 countries worldwide. Within the EU, these organizations have extensive operations mainly in Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, Malta, Romania, and Spain. These Italian criminal networks are also present outside the EU, especially in Colombia, Switzerland, and the United States. In fact, 86% of these networks use legitimate business fronts by infiltrating high-level businesses or establishing new ones. The sector most susceptible to organized crime infiltration is construction, hotels, and logistics. Number 12. Italians rarely use air conditioning. A little-known fact is that in Italy, people are not fond of using air conditioning. This means many restaurants, hotels, shops, and numerous other places will not have air conditioning for you. Italians believe that direct cold air from air conditioners blowing onto the body will make people susceptible to catching a cold, which is CPO in Italian. Moreover, in Italy, the government has mandated that air conditioning in public places should not be set below 27 degrees Celsius. Another reason is due to energy costs and the environmental impact of air conditioning. Number 11. Italy is a drug trafficking hub in Europe. For those who enjoy watching, please comment below if you've watched. Then you're probably familiar with the powerful mafia presence on the island of Sicily in Italy. Drug trafficking is the main source of wealth for Italian mafia organizations. These criminal organizations involved in drug trafficking and transportation across nations use Italy, especially the Sicilian region, as a transit point to bring drugs into Europe. To transport drugs into Italy, criminals employ various methods, including by air, sea, disguised within agricultural shipments, or imported seafood. Among these, the most notorious criminal group in Italy is the 'Ndrangheta crime syndicate, which was arrested and prosecuted last year. The total sentence for the group amounted to over 2,200 years in prison for offenses including murder, drug trafficking, bribery, extortion, and criminal conspiracy. The Mancuso family, one of the most powerful families in 'Ndrangheta, was convicted. Mafia families earn from controlling 80% of the cocaine supply in Europe, then laundering the proceeds through illicitly acquired legitimate businesses, from hotels and restaurants to car dealerships. However, asking an Italian about whether they have relatives or friends involved in the mafia is utterly detestable, especially in southern Italy. Nonetheless, there are still many small-scale mafia gangs operating in the Sicilian region. Therefore, if you come here, you need to be extremely careful. Do you know anything about mafia activities in Italy? Feel free to comment below. Number 10. Criticizing food in Italy is a no-go. Italians take pride in their cuisine. You'll have to be careful about what you say about someone's cooking and how you eat it, otherwise you risk getting into heated arguments with Italians. Italian cuisine is not just about pasta and pizza. Each region, even some cities, has very different characteristic dishes. Don't start eating before everyone sits down and someone says, as this is considered rude. Similarly, don't leave the table until everyone has finished eating. Apart from not criticizing food, there are some things you need to know when it comes to Italian cuisine. When in Italy, you are also strictly forbidden from putting cheese on seafood. Seafood is delicate, and Italians firmly believe that the robust flavor of cheese will disrupt its taste. Additionally, you're not supposed to place bread upside down on the table. Italians view bread as a symbol of life, and believe that turning it upside down will bring bad luck. Family is the most important thing for Italians. Therefore, never joke about someone's family in Italy. If someone invites you on a Sunday, they won't come because it's the time when they gather with their families to celebrate important occasions. Moreover, most adults still live with their parents, so couples often marry and have children later. It's normal for couples to leave their children with grandparents until they are old enough to attend kindergarten. Italy currently has the third oldest population in the world, and it continues to age faster than any other European country. The birth rate in Italy has steadily declined over the past 15 years, meaning Italy is increasingly having fewer people in the productive working age who can start businesses, create value, and drive the economy, while the number of people needing state pensions and being cared for by others continues to rise. While fewer children are being born, that's why the country has experienced a major demographic crisis over the past decade, which has been worsening every year since 2014. According to reports, the also estimates that the ratio between people in the working age group from 5 to 64 years old and those too young or too old to work, ages 0 to 14 or 65 and older, will decrease from about 3 to 2 in 2022 to 1 to 1 by 2050. Italy's population has been steadily declining by nearly 200,000 people per year, and that won't stop. Predictions say that Italy's population will decrease by another 20 million people in the next 50 years. And you don't need to be an expert to know that's not good news for the economy or for the country. According to Statista, there are two main reasons for Italy's aging population: high life expectancy and low birth rates. This means people are living longer while the number of births is decreasing. Indeed, Italy is one of the countries with the highest average life expectancy in the world. For women, the average life expectancy is up to 85 years old, while for men, it's 80 years old. Additionally, the country is ranked as one of the countries with the lowest birth rates in the world. The latest research has revealed that 7 out of 10 Italians believe that people from Africa are victims of racial discrimination and prejudice in Italy. The survey, conducted in October 2023 on a sample of 800 people, found that when asked what hinders integration, the first reason given by respondents was that Italian companies only see African immigrants as a source of cheap labor. Moreover, a survey by the Pew Research Center in 2017 showed that Italy is the most racially discriminatory country in Western Europe. A survey in 2019 by SGW showed that 55% of Italians interviewed justified engaging in racially discriminatory behavior. What do you think about this situation in Italy? Please comment your thoughts. Italy's working day, office hours, and school hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. However, social appointments or even meetings with business partners are often very flexible, convenient for everyone. Therefore, Italians are often seen as always arriving late. Moreover, if an Italian invites you for breakfast, you shouldn't discuss study or work matters in the morning or during breakfast. Lunch usually starts from 1 p.m., and everything can be discussed right at that lunch, which lasts at least 2 hours. Italian dinner usually starts at 8 p.m., quite late compared to usual. This has been going on for a long time and affects businesses here. It's not because Italians are lazy, but because Italian managers and companies always reward loyalty and connections more than high work performance. This practice still continues today. Before the 1990s, it was not so important. However, with the development of information technology, where talent and performance are much more important, This practice has begun to hinder economic development. Today, many companies in Italy still adhere to family governance, causing the country's economy to lag behind other countries. Additionally, issues such as unstable governments, chaotic legal systems, large-scale tax evasion, and Italy having one of the largest public debts in the world make the economy worse. One of the most common aspects of Italian cuisine is cappuccino coffee. However, if you go to Italy, you shouldn't order a cappuccino after lunch or while still eating lamb chops or even. Coffee should be ordered after the last course of lunch. Instead, lighter types of coffee should be consumed in the afternoon, especially in the hot summer. Italians are very traditional and may not even drink cappuccino after lunch, and in many shops, cappuccino is banned. If you order, Italians will find it strange. Cappuccino also has only one size in Italy. There is no such thing as small, medium, or large. So after lunch, you should order A or a simple espresso. If espresso is too strong, order A with a little steamed milk on top. Bureaucracy is a common issue in Italy's public services. The Italian government is a machine of bureaucracy, corruption, stagnation, unhealthy competition, and deteriorating infrastructure. Studies show that rampant bureaucracy causes Italy an average damage of 4% of GDP per year. The chronic corruption problem causes Italy to lose 11% of GDP annually, while deteriorating infrastructure and administrative procedures contribute losses of 2% and 1.33% of GDP respectively. This hinders the country's growth and causes annual damages of 485 billion euros, equivalent to 30% of Italy's GDP per year. Bureaucracy remains a problem in Italy today and may be a cause of many difficulties in doing business or carrying out certain legal procedures. The requirements are often vague and subject to frequent changes. The best way to address the issue is to thoroughly check all requirements before dealing with legal matters. However, it's not always clear what is required or where to find necessary information. Additionally, government offices are often unhelpful and slow to respond to queries. The sluggishness of the country's public services is one of the reasons why Italian businesses face even more pressure during an economic crisis. Number 2. Italy is known for heavy pollution. Italy's natural beauty has brought the country some of the most spectacular landscapes in the world, but it is also one of the most polluted countries in Europe. Italy's Po Valley often fails to meet EU air quality guidelines. The causes of this pollution include agricultural and industrial waste, and emissions from vehicles. While the Po Valley may be known for pollution and smog, urban centers like Milan, Naples, and Turin have even more dust and smoke than levels considered healthy. The famous tourist destination Venice has also been reported for many years, with air quality continuing to deteriorate, and experts are seeking solutions. Moreover, at the end of 2019, a storm caused flooding in Venice, with water levels up to 2 meters, accompanied by strong winds that blew roofs off houses. Since then, flooding has occurred frequently in this city of love, and residents feel the clear warning from the consequences of climate change. Number 1. English is not Italy's first language. Although in the northern part of Italy there is a fairly developed foreign community, don't be fooled. English is not the first language in this country. Although many tourists and foreigners speak English, you will need to learn at least some Italian if you plan to move to Italy. Many Italians speak some English, but their English is not always good enough to communicate effectively. You will have to learn the language to communicate with Italians, receive friendly looks, and make an effort. Just saying a little Italian will not be enough. At least you should speak a bit fluently. Italians will be quite annoyed if you live in their country and don't try to learn their language. However, Italian is quite difficult, so be prepared. So we've explored the dark sides of living in Italy. What do you think about these, or have you lived or experienced anything in Italy yet? Remember to comment and share with me. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos from us. See you in the next video.